So hi, this is the Drupal usability meeting for October 31st, 2017. And we don't actually have preset topics for today. So what we'll do is we'll look at the list of issues that need usability feedback. And we'll see if we can tackle something from there. So
right, and I have just posted that link in Slack and the sidebar there. It's a link of all issues, usability review, and the Drupal core project, limited to Drupal 8, sorted descending by priority, if you want to.
Perfect.
So I obviously haven't prepared anything for this, but I could start having opinions about things, I guess. What do you want to go with? Just start with the first one on the list, and we'll. Or.
we can do that. So
there's nothing else we can just post to be like, there's not enough information here or whatever. So.
Yeah, so what you did here is the issues for Drupal core, open issues, 8.x issues ordered by priority, just for the sake of the recording to see visually. So that's, and with the tag needs usability review. And the one that comes up on top, I'm looking at like why is probably the age of it, the issue. Yeah, most probably the age of the issue. Because majors seem to be ordered by created on top of priority. So the one that's the oldest is from 2006, summer of 2006. Says include fields for resetting passwords on the one-time password reset page. Their one-time login link and requests a one-time link because they forgot their password. The resulting user edit form does not require them to choose a new password. If by chance they miss that part of the form, which happens quite often as it's not highlighted, they are left with an initial random password. They are prompted to enter their old password later on, which they don't know. This creates a terrible user experience and a headache for site admins. Although they can still ask for another one-time login link, I guess.
Yeah, the description says user interface changes none.
Well,
it does, but then it also. Well, maybe it does. I saw something in that description about the button. Yeah, the button title email new password has been incorrect for quite a while. We're not sending passwords, but one-time login links. Button title request a password reset instead. So it looks like the last time this had about a year ago, and it is for Drupal 7. This is going to be a very challenging patch to test on Simply Test Me because in order to test it, you need working email. So I don't know if we'll be able to do this in this meeting. I do see some string changes in here.
You could, if you have Drush access, then you don't need working email.
Well, I also don't have Drush access on Simply Test Me.
Yeah, so basically the flow is creates a new password. That has a new page for creating a new password. And on that, I will want you to move forward from that page instead of landing you on the user edit form. Basically, the code it's removing is the redirect to the user edit form and adding the message. So that's not going to happen anymore, but instead you would get to a page which is dedicated, a dedicated form to reset your password. So that's the proposal. I was wondering if so some time ago we reviewed a similar change proposal for that was originating from OpenSocial, but I don't remember the issue. I will look. So we certainly did review something around the password reset form that was somehow originating from OpenSocial.
Okay, I'll try to find that.
Yeah, I'm not finding it in their docs either in terms of how they handled that, but I think...
Are there any versions of this patch for Drupal 8?
No.
Hola.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Hey.
Welcome.
So we are looking at this 11-year-old issue, which is was the top of the needs usability review queue. Highest priority, oldest 11-year-old issue. And we were just discussing that a couple months ago. We reviewed, I think, so this issue is about the problem of getting so if you forget your password, you get a link, you click the link, you land on your user edit page, and you get a message that you should change your password, but you're not really forced to do that. And it may be a big form, and it's easy to overlook the form. And I think we reviewed a similar issue a couple months back from OpenSocial. They were proposing some changes. Yeah. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Can you look that up?
Actually, the OpenSocial folks are actually running a Twitter ad campaign on that issue.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yes.
Is that true? Wow.
That's true.
Wow.
Open.
Is that important?
Yeah, it's OpenSocial, social network. They need to have it easy for people to actually sign up for the service, right? So I would think I could find it via that. So OpenSocial is a thing by Gorilla. Is a thing.
In the meantime, I'm resetting my password on Twitter and Facebook and Google to see what
cool
process is like. Some things to compare against. I figured that would be appropriate since those are the three companies subpoenaed to talk about Russian hacking today. So topical.
So I think I found it. So users could not find the change password field. So I think this is it because this is by Sinew, and Sinew is working for OpenSocial.
Yes.
And he was on the meeting earlier presenting this. So I'm loading that here. So that is 125.9892. Also no, it does not need usability review, but actually this is only 6 years old. It's not 11 years
Yeah.
old. But it's
Still wet behind the ears. Yeah.
yeah. But it's a similar problem.
Yep.
Blah, 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 blah. So no, this is not the exact same problem. No.
That thing was mostly about proximity of the
It's,
fields, right?
proximity of the fields, yeah. But I think that was another one. It was certainly from Senior. At least we now know. Looking for
All the
issue
stalking.
by person. Wow, this is what Drupal allows us to do. So at least people watching the recording will see how we find issues.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. There's not many issues facing you, so
Yeah. Users could not find the change password fields.
yeah, but that was the one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So maybe it's not the same issue, but it's similar.
In the same domain.
At least that improves the findability of the password fields. I think it was about reset, but it maybe not. Oh well. I think this was somehow used in OpenSocial with this modal thing.
Maybe the reason there are no patches for Drupal 8 is that it's already been changed for Drupal 8?
No.
I do remember doing something related to this, but it wasn't.
We were almost about to do something about it, yeah. No, because that was close to 8.3 maybe getting out. Okay, I'm going.
Well, that was not this issue then. That was a different issue. Yeah, this is just because so this is the one we've been looking at, and that got attention from core committers, or at least Silifan, 4 months ago. And at that time, it still applied to 777. By the way. So we can try how this works in Drupal 8, but it will not be very. Very easy.
I just did this. I've installed Drupal 8 to test me, but looks like I don't get the password reset email.
Okay, no emails. Okay. Oh well.
So I'm doing it locally using Drush ULI. Drush ULI helpfully adds /login at the end of the URL. If you leave that off, then you get to the page that says reset password. Before you can do anything else, you have to click the login button. So maybe that's the point. Maybe they want to skip this page. As soon as you click the login button, you are taken to your account page with very obvious boxes for putting in your new password.
Can you share your screen?
Sure. I can find the right button, screen share, and admin, start screen share. So if I use Drush ULI and let it append the login, then I get immediately to this page. Is that showing?
But you were already logged in.
Yeah, I used Drush ULI and
Yeah, the one-time. So this is the message that's printed that you use the one-time login link, and now you please change your password. And then there's a bunch of fields and then your passwords. So that's basically the issue that discussed, that it's hard to find those fields, especially if there's other fields here.
so let me just switch back to Bartek and do it over again.
Yeah, I remember we discussed this in Vienna. I think that maybe the password change functionality should be like a separate functionality, not just something on the user page, because the user page can have lots of fields and lots of things are going on a website that have custom fields on the user.
Right.
But yeah, that's
one other issue now that I'm now reminded of is that's maybe the one that Xinyu was promoting, is the "Are you really sure?" pattern, where for destructive operations we would have, I think, a sort of modal to either click or type "Yes, I do" before hitting submit. Similar to, and then this change password interaction could be the same, right? Where it would, from a page that has all kinds of fields, you would click or whatever, go to the version that says change password, and then we would somehow automatically group the related, only the isolate or highlight or group only those fields that you need to fill out, for example, twice the password. That's a related issue I'm thinking of. But I'm also now losing track of the initial the initial issue we wanted to discuss.
So meanwhile, I've logged out and logged in again with without the extra /login at the end that Drush adds, and you get to this page, and unless you navigate away from it without logging in, you click login, and this, I think, is what you get if you use the one-time login link from an email.
Yeah.
And then I think, yes, we reload the page that we were looking at before.
Yeah, so the issue says that it's hard to find the password there. It's not necessarily that you need to be forced to change your password, but that it may be hard or unintuitive with the sea of other fields.
Yeah, and all the help text.
Yeah, a lot of help text.
And what's the issues patch trying to do with this?
Moves out the password and creates a form that's used for the password and confirm password fields, and that's the form that would be displayed for the one-time login link page instead of redirecting you to to the edit screen with the message. So it basically drops the message, and it creates a form that's only used for resetting your password.
So it's a new URL basically that only has that tiny.
It's not a new URL because it's an existing URL that you already have, but it's not redirecting you anymore to this URL. It's not doing a redirect anymore because this experience is happening because it does a redirect.
And we can't test the patch because it doesn't apply to latest Drupal 8 version.
Drupal 7, it should work. That's what Jen says on the issue. So I guess the official backport policy would be that we need this on Drupal 8 first, right?
Yep.
Which shatters all the process on Drupal 7, but that's the official policy.
So someone needs to submit a patch that applies to Drupal 8 first before we can move on.
Well, but I think tagged in the first place is there's no point. Well, there is a point in updating the issue for Drupal 8, but I think what they're looking for is guidance or sign off from the UX team on what about, like what's the design of what we want in that behavior. Are we first? Do we think it's a good idea? I do think it's a good idea. How do we want to design that? So I have tried unsuccessfully like 35 times to reset my password in social networking. So this isn't going well. I was going to try and look at what other people do to solve this, like if there's a common pattern or anything, and having all kinds of problems. So
what I remember, at least from Twitter, is that are we resetting or changing our password because we're resetting, right?
We're resetting here. Yeah.
Okay. I do know in Twitter.
Facebook. All right. So here's what Facebook does. So Facebook, first of all, sends you an email with a code, a 6-digit, and you have to enter that 6-digit code back on the website. And then, assuming you did that okay, they give you a form that says choose a new, which only has one password field, which is interesting. And you're given the option to either continue or to skip this. Skip it. I can log in. Oh, and I'm getting my 2-digit blah, 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 blah. That's interesting. Anyway.
Yeah, I think the vast majority of web applications does like the same that Gabor has on his screen. Just
did
as simple as that.
Just did an image search for password reset.
Oh,
Google,
that is way fucking easier. Yes. Yes. Anyway, so what it appears is that it is generally speaking a pattern that other sites use. So it does make sense for us to adopt that pattern.
I agree.
So I think we could comment and say, we support adopting this pattern. Here is how we would recommend it be designed. We can't tell how it's designed because there's no screenshot of the patch, and the patch itself only works against Drupal 7. Although I guess, Ben, you had it running on your machine, right? We could post a screenshot of it to the issue. Nice.
There are actually a lot of PNGs uploaded to the issue, but none of them are actually shown as far as I can tell.
Oh, good. So looks like Facebook's the only one that gives you the option. Everything else, you just have to type your new password in when you reset. I'm not sure which option this one does.
I think this. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. So I think this screenshot is posted to the chat. Is that showing the patch applied, maybe, on the reset password?
Hey, great.
So if this is what they want.
Behavior change, though, in that it forces you to change your password, and it didn't used to do that. So,
Yeah.
just bearing that in mind.
Yeah. Yeah, at least the nice thing about the current experience is you can have a one-time login link and you don't need to set a whatever password. There may be an anti-pattern, but I do use sites with one-time login links and I never know the password.
Me too.
But we could get
You can
around that
always
by
ask
adding.
for one time.
We could get around that by adding a skip this step,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe make an optional thing. So like you could choose to show it or not. Now
Yeah. So there's
the scope of this little patch.
So this Apple thing has a reset password where you can cancel resetting the password.
Uh-huh.
It's not clear if you're still logged in that case or not, right? So if we are doing this part of your login, Twitter has a Remember Me, which is also log me in, I guess, while you're submitting. And Google does not do that. Please choose a new password for finish signing in. So at least it's clear that you're not allowed to not pick a password before the signing in is finished. Although in Drupal's case, you could just like close this page and go elsewhere.
I was going to say, you can just navigate to somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's hackers.
Although I don't know, because the way this is presented, it makes it look like you won't actually get logged in until that password is set.
Yeah.
Navigate away, it makes it look like you'd still be anonymous. So, which is the better way to do it.
And that's actually the case because the code actually removes the user login finalize thing. So you're not logged in yet. In fact.
Okay.
So you are finalized
Not
once this form is submitted, yeah. So as per the patch, that changes behavior and that you need to change your password without a way to opt out. You cannot navigate away, which is probably why the screenshot is showing so few UI elements also.
Yeah, but this is weird.
This will break people's workflow who's using Drush login. But yeah.
Oh, interesting.
This is like two steps in one, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like Google, right? So please choose to finish signing in.
Yeah, but it doesn't invite you to click a link to log in. It invites you to set a new password so that you may log in.
Because you didn't know your old one. So theoretically, it's logical that you would want to have a password that you know. But, I mean, may or may not be the case that you want to know your password.
What? Huh?
So this forces you to pick a password and save it before you can log in.
Here already, this one.
Yeah, that's the patch. Yeah.
Okay, but that's not clear.
Yeah.
If you read the text, it said click on this button to log into the site.
Yeah. Otherwise, if there's not, the fields are not required, that's sure. That's true in neither of them. So also, I don't think we need to explain that you need to click on a login button to log in.
No.
So that's a thing, but that's a minor. That's a minor thing.
No, yeah, I'm still reading it as 2 steps into one. If you look at my sketch, I have an email that has a reset link. I go to the first page that says, this is a single login link. Do you really want to set a new password, I guess? And then you set a new password. So either the single confirming that you want to actually use that link in the email is a step we can remove. We just do that, and we force you to set a new password.
That's what the patch does.
Yeah, but it does it. It does these both steps together, and I'm totally confused by what I'm reading and seeing because it shouldn't say login on the button either.
Yeah, well, they implemented the way that Google works, basically.
Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah. So that makes sense.
So I guess what I would like to see is something that behaves a lot the way Drush works now, where you do skip that intermediate page and you are logged in as soon as you use the link. And if it put us on a new page, a new simplified page, that gave us a simpler option to set the new password than the current login form or the current account edit form, then I think that would be a good thing. I certainly don't want to be forced to choose a new password in order to log into the site.
Why did you reset?
Because as someone who manages many sites, I don't bother to learn passwords. I just use Drush.
Okay.
So you're
That's not
logging
a
in.
scenario we're optimizing for.
That's a trick I learned from Eric Peterson. And I would not want to lose that.
Yeah, I'm using this all the time. So I'm managing a lot of sites, and I'm just logging in using Drush ULI, generating a one-time password link for my user account, and I'm just using it. And yeah, sometimes I'm even create.
So I think we do need to skip somehow, or two options: login or change password and login or something.
Well, is there any downside to being logged in as soon as you use the link? Like, do we need to present a button that says log in, or can we just do what Drush automatically does now and log the user in?
Well, the whole point of this issue is that, that's what the password reset does right now, is that's not secure. If you're not using Drush, one could steal the email link and then become the user and whatever. It's also, I don't know, the issue summary had all the justification for it and stuff.
This is not more secure.
Yeah, I don't see a security difference.
Yeah, I don't think it's a security difference. I think it was done for usability. Let me look.
Yeah, there's no security difference.
Yeah, they basically say that page that does not require them to change their password, which is set as a problem. I don't know if it's a problem or not. If by chance they miss that part of the form, which happens quite often as it's not highlighted, they are left with the initial random password. If they later return to the account edit page, then they need to enter their old password, which is obviously they don't know. So they cannot do that later. So the problem is that we lock them in, and once they are logged in, if we present them the user edit form, they need to enter their old password. So I guess they don't lock them in, because if they would be logged in, then this thing would require their old password normally.
No. I mean, the way it currently works, you are logged in and you are looking at your user edit form, but there's a token set in the URL. And as long as that token is there, you don't need to put in your old password in order to reset.
Yeah, so we can do that. So it's basically setting up a dedicated form to make it easier to spot the form elements. That's what it does. So if we do the same, we can do the same in 8 and log you in, then not require you to change your password, because Drupal never did that. Drupal never required you to change your password. And if you go past this form, somehow you click away, whatever, or say cancel, I don't want to change my password, then you can only change your password again with another password reset email, which I don't think is at the end of the world.
Yeah, it's not a problem at all.
Because you already know how to get here, because that's how you got here.
Yeah. So how I would like to see this is like, logging the user in. Once click on this link and present this form, having a button like cancel or skip or whatever, so I can continue browsing the site without having to reset the password if I want. But
well, it's not required, right? Well, so it looks to me that okay, this patch does what we wanted to do, but the wording is still highly confusing. So it looks like we need to rewrite the title, the label on the submit button, and probably remove most of the help text.
And log them in.
and log the user in.
And log people in, and then they can choose to set their new password or just not do that. So we should write up what we think the patch is doing. And indicate.
So it's kind of summarize that on an issue. Should I do that? I will do that.
I will probably do it wrong because I had a hard time following.
Yeah, I will summarize. I will summarize what we discussed.
Okay, thanks. It's assigned to you, so.
It is. No, mentally. So if we want to go a bit more, then we can pick the next one.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But then somebody else will because I need to write this up.
Yeah. So we were looking at needs usability review.
Yeah, and Angie posted the link.
Yeah, I have it. I have a bookmark for it. Let's see.
Sorry, I had to take a call. Did you want me to post a link again?
No, we're okay. Let's see.
So the next one I see is add status and workflow state to page title block.
Which is postponed.
Maintainer needs more info. Might be last guys for info or something. It's 2753673. Do kind of remember because it has not been 17 years since this one was posted. But anyway. it was postponed 3 months ago.
Add status and workflows.
Hold on. Going to click on
the status of the node being edited, polished or unpublished, and the workflow state, it being in a draft or ready to review. Okay. Add the current state of the thing you're editing to the title.
and also add to the meta content column. So you can see in the second screen.
Yeah.
It says that the concept was reviewed by us in June 21st, 2016, and it was proposed with no objections.
So why is it postponed? Let's see. Because we were not around.
Because we were not around. And I guess there were some questions on implementation. That it looks like
So there's no patch.
we actually went to write a patch and then found out that this sidebar is implemented inconsistently between Bartik and 7, so that's fun. Although I guess that we got fixed, so that's good. And so basically, okay, so it says the state is now in the meta block on the right as well, but now this issue talks about moving it to the title header. So it sounds like Drupal 8 already has, which kind of rings a bell, of a reference Drupal site we could check. Oh, look at that. And then it would just be about whether or not we want to duplicate the information in 2 places.
Does this presume workflow and content moderation?
Does, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
It's on. I guess article is already assigned.
No.
No.
Okay.
So last saved, not saved yet. It already says so here.
Yeah, so I think you have to save it first.
Of course. So I'll save it to be published.
Way to be bold.
Yeah.
Get out there, publish. Yeah. Just boom! I don't need a draft.
Oh. Okay, and now I'm going to edit it because obviously there's a typo somewhere there. So it is published. And the current state is published. Ah, It's a won't fix because we've added it in.
Can you type a little bit in the text box? Them. A part of it was not saved. Okay, so it does not alert you to something not being saved. Way to do that extremely literally. That was so that part isn't a thing. Draft not published. So try changing it to draft once and see.
Yeah, interesting that it defaults to draft because I'm editing a.
Yeah, that is weird.
So looking at the comments, it seems that part of the proposed changes have been implemented.
Yes.
And the
that's what we're
remaining
checking right
suggestion is to put it in the title.
Yep, that's right. Well, can you hit edit again, Roy, just to see what that sidebar looks like?
Draft.
It says draft. Okay, so yeah, the proposal is slightly different. It's proposing to not just say the workflow state it's in, but also explain the
Okay, yeah.
And then it's also proposing to do that in two places, not just in the sidebar, which is already done, but also in the title.
Yeah, I think adding it to the title has become moot because that's now basically what it does is explain what draft is, right? Published or not published.
Right.
Okay.
Is it? I mean, if you have a published version already. Sorry.
Sorry about that.
Right, current state draft.
Yeah. Actually, Roy, I'm sorry. Could you scroll up one more time? I just wanted to take a screenshot of that, like what it does right now.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, there we go. So, so the only difference would be between this and Kevin's proposal is one, we'd expand draft with also not published, which we would presumably do for any, like workflow states can either be published states or non-published states. So we would probably do that for all of them. So pending legal review, comma, not published, this kind of stuff.
Yep.
And the other part of the proposal is adding that data to the title as well as the, are you proposing, though, that since we list the current state right by the button, that we don't need this at all?
No, I'm proposing at the very least to not add it to the title because
yes, okay.
I think that's overkill because that we're doing it in 3 places and there's more going on here than just publishing states. And
yep.
So I don't see a reason why that needs to be called out 3 times. Yep. But this could be a useful addition.
Yep. That looks like a novice task too. Waiting for Google to stop. Thank you. Oh, can you scroll back down? Sorry. I want to take a picture.
And we would do the same in the sidebar.
Same in the sidebar too? I guess why not?
And what will happen if I have a published version of this page and I'm editing the draft? They say draft not published.
Yep, because it's related to what you're actually editing.
Oops.
I think. So
because it can be confusing if we have a live published version of this page and we see not published. Can it be confusing for editors?
Revisions are required. Oh, what is that? The latest version. Okay.
Do you have an alternate suggestion? Or do you think that this is not a problem that we need to solve?
Asking me?
Nope.
No.
I'm asking Roland.
Yeah, I'm just
Or I
thinking.
think, Roland, it was you who was saying that that could be confusing if one version of the article is published. It says it's not published, that people might find that confusing. Do you have an alternate suggestion of?
Oh, no. Sorry.
Yeah, this is
I agree
unpublished.
that could be confusing. And I guess the question is, will more people find that confusing than find the current behavior confusing? So we could also just leave the current behavior the way it is.
But I cannot edit this not current version. I cannot edit this one. So I was on the revisions tab. I have a current revision. And I have a previous, I guess, revision. If I go to that not current revision, I can't edit it.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So I
You
would
have to make it the current revision, I think, first. So you have to click on that button.
Does that make it the current version? Not necessarily even. Version status. Oh, yeah, and another revision is added to the list. Right, but you can only edit the current revision. So I don't think the confusion situation will occur in the current capabilities.
Yeah, and then when you think about it, this would be published, parentheses, published, which is very redundant.
Yeah, because the state is right.
Because the state is just a label, right? So that published could very easily be called live.
Live, yeah.
We'd have to, if we're going to consistently put the parentheses what it means thing, it would be published, which is kind of goofy.
It's goofy, yeah. It's Drupal being making things confusing by being extra clear about things.
So what do you think? Won't fix? Solution's good enough, or?
Maybe we I'm curious to hear about what other people think about this with this current UI, because this is no fun, right?
Yeah, I'm happy with the current. I don't think adding like an extra, if you know what draft means, so adding something like draft not published is just.
Well, and the fact is, if someone built a site and had a user that consistently found it very confusing, and whether pending legal review was published or not published, then they could literally change the label of their state to be parentheses not published. So
exactly, yeah. I would go here.
So probably an absent usability test, which reveals like either quantitative or qualitative analysis that this is a problem for people. Maybe we don't need to worry about this as much. Excellent. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other part of the proposal was to add this label to the tab. Yeah.
That's funny.
And I save it to be a draft. I edit it again. Hey.
Nice. There you go. That's hilarious. When this issue was made, the sidebar didn't say anything about workflow state because I believe the thing we added like during the kind of last parts of the content moderation review.
And we spent a lot of time fine-tuning this.
Yeah. I'm fine with won't fix, although I have to leave now to go to an appointment. So if you want me to post the comment, I'm happy to. I just can't do it during this meeting.
Right. The other fun thing is that in this list it says that the status is published. It's not.
Because you have an old version
well,
that's published.
At one point it was published, right?
Yeah, at one point it was published.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. This
right.
one's
Bye, everybody.
Okay. Thanks, Webchick.
Ciao.
Okay. Yeah, ciao. That's good enough, right? Okay.
All right, so you're going to post on this one?
Yeah, I will post on this one.
Okay.
I did not take the screenshot, but we'll manage. So.
Yeah, I posted on the previous one all the things. I hopefully correctly summarized that. I put the link in Slack so anybody can review the comment.
Good.
Great.
Thanks all.
All right.
See you next time.
Thank you. See you next time.
See you guys. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.